one of the most frequent like comments that I get is about loneliness. So people go like, yeah, tell me about loneliness, or talk about loneliness. And like it's sort of funny because it's hard to talk about loneliness when it doesn't exist anymore. Like it's lonely is completely absent from my mind. It doesn't exist because what changed, what Krishnamurti says, it's not alone, it's all one. So when you become all one, when you become whole, you become holy, and the sincere you, one growth, whatever you want to call it. As soon as you become one, you are whole, complete. So like there's no idea of being single. There's no idea of needing someone. There's nothing there. So all of a sudden you're just this complete entity that doesn't need anything. So that loneliness doesn't, it's completely absent from a man. Like it completely doesn't exist. So one of the things that I noticed, like as soon as I went out into life, and obviously I just broke up with my ex-husband that I'd been with for 10 years. So everybody kept asking me about like, who are you having sex with? Or like they wanted to know like who my next partner was going to be. And at this time I was already free from the mind, and this struck me like quite hard because everybody was more or less telling me that I'm alone and I need a second person to complete myself. They assumed that it would have to be a man, but a lot of things changed since then. Anyway, just the question, are you single, was asked so many times, and that question in itself points to the ideology that we are living under, because the ideology is telling you that you're single, i.e. you need a second person to be a pair. And that's sort of, I want to sort of say maybe that's like the key issue with our society, because as soon as you think that you need a second person and you can't be complete as one, as a whole, everything just goes pear-shaped. Like everything just goes like into the wrong direction, because as soon as you're not whole and you're trying to be in a relationship, it's always attached, it's always like symbiotic, there's always like a clinging to each other. When you're whole, when you go into a relationship complete, then it's like I always imagine it like a complete sphere. So if I'm a complete sphere, then it's going to be hard to penetrate the complete sphere. But if I'm broken, if I think that I'm single, then if I think that it means that I need a second person, if I were to listen to what the people are saying, implying that I'm missing a second half, it would have made me so depressed. It would have probably I would have questioned, luckily I was free so I didn't care, but before it would have been really hard that everybody is implying that you can't be alone, you need another person. And because of this freedom of my mind, you're fiercely independent, so you don't need anything, you don't need anybody. So that suggestion to me was rather weird. It's why are you telling me that I need a second person when I'm sitting here complete and whole as we speak? So obviously I didn't say that, because I just watch and listen to what the prevalent ideology is. So I listen to, what ideas behind what they're saying. And the idea behind what they're saying is that as a human being, you need to be a couple, which to me that's completely not true. As a human being, what we need to do first and foremost is love ourselves. So we need to find ourselves. We need to face the truth to our life. We need to face the fears that we're running from. And as soon as we can do that and we accept ourselves for who we actually are, then we become whole. And as soon as you become whole, you know what self-love really is like. You can accept yourself for who you actually are, all the faults, all the flaws, all the bullshit. As soon as you accept yourself for who you actually are, and you have this profound self-love, then you're the complete sphere. So you can just go out into the world and you can just spread your love, you know, like there's nothing that will ever mess with the sphere. Like you're complete, you're whole. So you can just go out and you share your overflowing love more or less, and if it's not going to be returned, it doesn't make any difference because you're already a whole sphere. It's just an added bonus. So I always respond rather badly to people asking if I'm single because it's a violent ideology, you know. They're telling me that I'm not okay alone, I'm not complete, I'm not whole, I'm not independent. I need somebody to take care of me, and I'm sick as and I really refuse the idea or the notion of needing to find someone that takes care of me. Like I'm even if I don't, like, I'll order food, like I'll be fine. Like the most important thing is that you find yourself and you find the truth to your life. Stop running from all the, like, your worst nightmares. It's not that bad. Like all you need to do is, like, it's scarier to run away from it all your life than to just go like, okay, so I was raped as a kid, and now I'm gonna fucking really, sorry, I'm gonna fudging, I'm gonna really, like, look at it, you know? So, and, like, I mean, honestly and humbly go, like, I was a small child, and somebody just did this to me, and then, like, you know, it's sort of like a little bit of reliving, but, like, not reliving, it's actually, and it's a difference, because, like, if something happened to me as a child, I respond differently because I'm a helpless child. Like, I can't do anything, I'm stuck. I'm, like, in the way that I respond is probably overreacted because I don't have any, like, I have very little input when it comes to life. So when I look at the same situation again as an adult, like, I will feel the same feeling of helplessness, and I'll feel this, you know, exactly the same as when I felt like a child. And then you've got to realize, hang on, I'm an adult now. I feel different. I could deal with the situation differently. And then you look at the situation and then you accept it for the horrible, painful, searing trauma it was.